Every video I've seen of this guy, he's always wearing a t-shirt. He has no energy.
I usually start my day off at like 17 eggs.
Oh, I'm tired. I don't want to do chin-ups, but I'll probably win. And are you kidding me? This is more impressive than I was expecting. Coach Greg, in today's video, another natty or not. You see in the last one, the world's biggest fake natty. In that video, you would have seen a guy, he goes by the name of Shans.Bruh. Shans.Bruh. I don't know how to pronounce his name. His real name is Malik. This guy is a monster. He's huge, and he's only 22 years of age. People are wondering, saying, is this guy natty or is he not? And I'm thinking, well, look at the size of this guy. How could he possibly be natural? But remember, this guy is not very lean. He's not shredded. He doesn't have a six-pack. And so is he, in fact, just a bigger guy? He's got more body fat. And so is it possible that this guy is actually natural? Are these guys, in fact, fake natties? The world's biggest fake natty, aka Gorilla, is teaming up with @Shans.Bruh.
Strength wars with the two biggest natural bodybuilders in the world.
Well, if they are, in fact, natural, then I'm going to say they are, in fact, the two biggest naturals in the world. But I've already gone over Gorilla, said this guy has to be a fake natty. Many people argued me and said, no, this guy's got amazing genetics. He's definitely got that much muscle because the guy's black. I mean, after all, Chris Bumstead is an amazing black natural athlete. These guys are both exceptionally tall. Shane, he's stating that he's 6'4". I do believe he's rounding up. Perhaps he's only 6'3", but the guy is a monster. Connor himself is 6'2". These guys are both significantly taller than Connor, and so they are very large. And so Shans.Bruh is over 300 pounds. At 22 years old, that is a lot of muscle.
Today, we're gonna be doing pull-ups, and the winner gets $1,000. All right, boys, what are your predictions here?
And so you may be looking at Shans.Bruh and thinking, Greg, you're just a hater. He's clearly natural. He's only 22 years of age. The guy just likes to eat. He's eating more calories than last time. He's bulking up, and because of that, he weighs over 300 pounds. But I'm telling you, if you're over 300 pounds, and unless you're morbidly obese, unless you have the biggest belly in the world, then most likely you're not natty. If you're over 300 pounds and have a significant amount of muscle, you're probably not natural. Most of the time when you see Shans.Bruh, he's walking around with track pants and a t-shirt. You can't see exactly what's going on underneath that clothing. If he were to stand next to you and you were to look up at this guy, you'd be thinking, how are you natty?
What are your predictions here? Who do you think is going to take this one?
I'm feeling pretty sleepy, but I think I should get it done.
And so here's the thing with Shans.Bruh. This guy has no energy at all. Now, I don't know if it's because he has a shitty ass diet. The guy's eating more burgers than last time, fast food and so on. He's clearly not eating from my cookbook. Everyone knows that if Shans.Bruh ate from my cookbook, he'd be way better, would have way more muscle and less body fat. Now, perhaps he wouldn't be the biggest natty in the world, but he would look significantly better. And so Shans.Bruh, maybe try getting the cookbook. And while you're at it, Shans.Bruh, could we not take a scoop or two of some pre-workout? In your case, perhaps 3. You're over 300 pounds, but you have absolutely no freaking energy. I've never seen a guy who lacks his enthusiasm as much as Shans.Bruh. If he had 10% of the energy of Coach Greg, imagine the calories this guy's be burning. Listen to this guy. Hey, we're about to have a chin-up competition. Do you think you're going to win? Well, I don't know. I'm going to give it a good effort. I'm feeling very good today.
I'm feeling pretty sleepy, but I think I should get it done.
Bro, some hardcore pre-workout. 12 seconds ago was crazy. Why don't you hop up yourself on some pre-workout and go for more chin-ups than last time? Or perhaps he's lacking GO2 max. Are you taking any supplements? Perhaps he's natty, doesn't dare take pre-workout. And so based on his energy levels alone, he does appear to be natural. I mean, if he were sniffing creatine, taking more pre-workout than last time, taking feral pre-workout like the Trend Twins, the guy would have more energy. There's no way you can convince me that this guy is taking pre-workout. He has no energy, he's sluggish, and yeah, he weighs a lot, but what good is being over 300 pounds, having a lot of muscle, if you don't have the energy to back it up?
All right, first we got Shan.
And so on that day, not one chin-up was performed. I mean, did he in fact get his chin up to the bar? It's called a chin-up. It means the chin goes up to the bar. Last I checked, it's not a forehead up. I mean, every rep, he seems to be getting his forehead to the bar. Perhaps he's getting his hair to the bar on some of these reps, but not one rep did he get his chin to the bar. I didn't count a single repetition. And so if you're going to convince me that this man being 100% natural did over 20 chin-ups weighing over 300 pounds, I don't believe it.
You got one more, man. Stop being a pussy. 21.
He hasn't done one yet. One more. Perhaps if he was fresh and he gave it 1 ounce of effort, he might get a single rep. And so the fact that he couldn't do one single chin-up, well, so far, I'm thinking maybe he is natural.
21. You got one more. 22. Oh! I can't give you that one.
I couldn't give him any of those. Connor, what kind of a judge are you? Oh, next up in the next video, we have the world's best chin-upper guy. And up next, starring Coach Greg in a Connor video, we're going to have a chin-up competition. I'm going to do 1,000 chin-ups. 1, 2, 3. I'm not going to do any. Connor, you need to be more strict than last time.
So the official number to beat is 22 reps. All right, next up we got Gorilla. 22. I'll give that 22.
All right, at least the gorilla did a couple of chin-ups. He did at least a couple where chin went to the bar. The last several, not even close, and so it results in a tie. This wasn't a tie. Gorilla was clearly dominant. He did more chin-ups with his chin touching the bar. But hey, it was a tie, and who won? Well, it should be Gorilla.
Strength wars with the 2 biggest natural bodybuilders in the world.
Another thing I want to mention is the 2 biggest bodybuilders in the world. If you haven't done a bodybuilding competition, technically, are you in fact a bodybuilder? It's kind of like if a tree falls in the forest, or there's no one there to hear it, did the tree actually fall? If you're a bodybuilder and you're lifting weights, but you haven't done a bodybuilding competition, are you in fact a bodybuilder? Or are you just lifting weights? I'm asking you, comment below. Are these guys bodybuilders if they haven't actually planned to do a competition? If they haven't dieted for a competition, they haven't competed, are they in fact bodybuilders? For example, Alex Eubank. Is Alex Eubank a bodybuilder? I haven't seen him compete. Is Sam Sulik a bodybuilder? Yeah, he's consumed a lot of chocolate milk. He's had a lot of cereal, pizza, and so on. He's got on some cuts, but has he gotten up on stage? Has he decided to enter a competition? And so is Sam Sulik a bodybuilder? Many people, they love Sam Sulik and they say, Coach Greg, you're an a-hole. Sam Sulik's a bodybuilder. Well, what place did he get? Is he a better bodybuilder than, for example, Mike Israetel? Of course not. Mike Israetel competed. He actually got up on stage in those posing trunks, and judges decided what place he got. To me, a bodybuilder competes. If you say you're a bodybuilder but you don't compete, to me, you're a weightlifter. You lift weights. Nothing wrong with that, but if you want to say you're a bodybuilder, you got to get up on stage. Ain't no way Shane Natty. Shane is not lean. He's natural just like Brian Shaw. And so I don't know if this is Gen Z joking or not. Brian Shaw is clearly not natural. Brian Shaw also not very lean. But just because you have more body fat doesn't mean that you're not taking steroids. Steroids don't just burn off all your body fat. Many people think, oh, if you go on steroids, you're going to have a six-pack, you're going to have all this muscle, you're going to look like Chris Bumstead. It doesn't work like that. Most people who are overweight who take steroids end up more overweight with just more muscle. It doesn't technically get you shredded. To get shredded, you need to be in a calorie deficit. Shane I don't think he's worried about his calories. I don't think he's eating from Coach Greg's cookbook. And so when you go on steroids, it just makes you bigger, but still overweight. They are not cut. Sam Sulik is as big as the black guy, but he's way leaner. Are you kidding me? Have you seen Gorilla? Sam Sulik is way leaner than Gorilla. Why? Because he's white? What are you talking about? I have no idea if you guys are being sarcastic, if you're joking. What kind of comments is going on? Bro said Brian Shaw is natty. Skull face double time. You know Brian Shaw's blasting probably takes more than people like Sam Sulik. It's physically impossible to be the strongest man without blasting. Do I really now need to make natty or nots on people who compete for the world's strongest man? You really think that just because a guy is like 6'8" and 400 pounds, oh, probably natural. Why? Because they don't have a six-pack? World's strongest man. You really think that there's guys who are out there who are natural that can beat the world's strongest men who are blasting hella gear? Really? Brian Shaw isn't even black. How could he possibly be natty and be that strong? It might just blow your mind with this one, but Brian Shaw isn't natty. Quotes the black guy. More than Sam, but no acne. Also, Eddie Hall is natural too. Just because the side effect of taking steroids is in fact developing acne doesn't mean that if you have no acne that you're not taking steroids. To the same extent, you could have no gynecomastia whatsoever, no gyno, and you're still not natural. I myself am on HRT, prescribed by my doctor. I personally don't have a lot of acne. And just because I'm on HRT and not on very high doses doesn't mean that I'm natural. And so is it not possible that Shan is not just on low doses? You ever think of that? Perhaps he's not blasting hell gear. Perhaps he's not on test and trend. Perhaps he's just on SARMs. Or maybe he's on HRT. And so perhaps he has great genetics. Perhaps he's on low doses. Just because he doesn't have a lot of acne or backne or horrendous gynecomastia doesn't mean that a guy is actually natural. Shan said he's on trend multiple times. Is there any evidence of this, or are people just spewing nonsense? Just because somebody says something on the internet doesn't mean it's actually true. Leanness has nothing to do with PD use. It's the muscle mass. All strong men are on a ton of roids, Shane too. And so here's the thing. When people look at a guy's physique to determine if they're natty or not, this is generally what they're looking for. Do they have a lot of muscle and are they lean? And if they're not lean or don't have a lot of muscle, people think, no, probably natural. You see a smaller guy with shredded abs and you're thinking, oh, he's smaller, has abs, probably natural. And to the opposite extent, you see a guy with no abs whatsoever, perhaps a gut, but the guy is very big, 300 pounds. You're thinking, yeah, it's probably natural because he's not all that lean. Listen, majority of people who are on steroids don't have abs, they're not shredded, and don't have a lot of muscle. Most people on steroids don't even look all that impressive. And so just because a guy isn't shredded and have huge muscles at the same time doesn't mean they're natural. And so just because Shane doesn't have a six-pack doesn't mean the guy's natural. Well, the other guy claims natty. Just because one guy claims natty doesn't mean that his friend is also natural. You can't just say, well, that person's natural, so they're natural too. If I have a friend who's gay and I'm friends with that man, doesn't mean that I'm also gay. Does that not make sense? You can have a friend that's on steroids and you can yourself be natural. Shan is very open about his gear use. Is he though? I don't know. I haven't seen enough of his videos. I don't know if he's openly saying, hey, I take this, I take that. But in this video, they're saying the guy's natural. Look at Shan traps. Obviously, he's not natty. And so this is another myth. People think that if you're on steroids, that automatically you're going to have huge traps and huge cap delts. This is not true. When I went on performance-enhancing drugs, I never noticed my traps suddenly get huge, nor did I notice my delts suddenly getting huge. What happened for me, my back grew tremendously. My quads, my legs, and so on, and my calves, they got leaner than last time. Every person reacts differently. Perhaps some people take steroids, and a lot of the receptors in the traps, they grow larger than last time. For me, look, I abused steroids for over 10 years. I'm on HRT right now. Do I look like I have massive-looking traps? And remember, I'm a world record holder in the deadlift. Guinness Book of Records. I trained deadlifts more than last time. Think of the muscles you're using to do the deadlift, yet my traps did not have tremendous development. Just because you take steroids doesn't mean you're going to have huge traps. And if you're natural and you train and have the proper genetics for developing traps, you could have huge traps while also be natural. Neither him nor Shaw nor Gorilla are natural. You can literally see their overdeveloped traps and it's so obvious. I wouldn't say it's because of the overdeveloped trap, but perhaps the fact that they're around 300 pounds. What's a more obvious sign? Having developed traps or being 300 pounds. He literally said he works out 1 time a week and all muscle growth comes from roids. What do you think is more believable? That Shane is natty or that Shane only trains 1 day a week? I'm going to say there's more chance that Shane is natty than that he only trains once a week. You really think this guy is only training once a week and looks like that? Oh, I use steroids and so I only need to go to the gym once a week and I'm 300 pounds. This is ridiculous. You need to train. To build muscle, you need a stimulus for muscle growth to occur. You can't just take steroids, sleep on the couch all day, and develop larger traps than last time. I reckon he was on something when he was 19 or 20 years old. He looked older then, had facial hair, and was as big as he is now whilst being lean. And so is it not in fact possible that Shane is natty right now and that he used or in fact abused steroids when he was younger? Perhaps when he was 19, 20 years of age, he hopped on steroids, built a tremendous amount of muscle, was more shredded than now, while building muscle was very anabolic, put on a ton of muscle, and then decided, I don't want to use steroids anymore. Perhaps he then ate more calories than last time, went on a bulk, and stopped using steroids. And so isn't it not possible that he's natural right now? And so perhaps when Connor said, these guys are both natural, Gorilla and Shane are natty, it's possible that they're natty right now, as in they didn't use steroids today. Maybe they did their cycle yesterday, it ended. Maybe they hadn't pinned in a week. Perhaps they didn't pin at all. Hey, if they did steroids last week and they stopped, could you not technically say I'm natural now? Or what if the cycle had ended 3 months ago? Oftentimes, bodybuilders, for example, myself, I would go on a 3 or 4 month cycle and then I would stop for 12 weeks. And so if I had stopped for 12 weeks and somebody said, hey, are you natural? Say, well, I'm natural right now. Would I in fact be lying? Well, it depends on your definition of natural. Personally, I think that once you've used steroids at some point in your life, you can no longer claim that you're natural. You can claim you're natural right now, but you can't say that you're a lifetime natural. And in Connor's video, it did not say these are lifetime natural athletes. He said they're natural. And so perhaps he's just saying, look, these guys are natural today. They were on cycles in the past, but perhaps they've stopped. And so let me know in the comments section, what do you guys think about that? If you were on a steroid cycle from the age of 19 to 20, went on steroids, perhaps you put on 40 pounds of muscle and then you stopped. You never used steroids after that. Are you in fact natural? He's not. There's a vid of him pinning. I'll drop it soon on my page. Unless I've seen it, I don't believe it. And even if I've seen it, I might not believe it. With AI and technology these days, I don't know if seeing is believing. You could, in fact, see somebody doing something. It could be fake. Somebody could be pretending to pin. And I believe if you're pinning, they probably edited it out or bleeped it out. I don't believe they've actually seen somebody draw a trend from a needle and inject it. I don't think you're even allowed to show that on YouTube. He admits he takes trend crying face. Does he really, though? He natty. Eating ? Bro, people like you are the same people who don't go to the gym saying they aren't natty. I don't know what that means. You would be surprised with New England genetics. He's not, and neither is Gorilla. I've literally seen people saying he was natty until recently too. It's crazy how many people claim to be into the gym and don't even know anything about physiques. Ain't no way Gorilla is natural. Shane was feeling sleepy. Exactly. Bro, you gotta take some pre-workout. What is with the lack of energy? Depending on the photo, I could argue this guy's natural. Seeing him in the Danville blue shirt, standing back, you can't see how much muscle this guy really has. As I look at this photo, I'm thinking, it's possible. He's not all that lean. He appears to have a lot of muscle, but it is possible at 22 years of age with hard training and great genetics to build a physique like this while being natural. When I see him in the blue shirt, I'm thinking, maybe he's natural. But on the photo below, it says, don't bully me or I'll come. Where do they come up with these shirts? Don't bully me or I'll come. Sounds like not the worst thing in the world. In this photo, there's no way this guy's natural. Are you seeing the photo? You don't develop a physique like this while being natural at the age of 22. The biceps, the triceps, the traps, the chest, everything. Now, granted, he's not lean, but you can clearly see the size of the muscles underneath. And so if you think that you can just go on a bulk, that, hey, if you guys are natural, if you want to have a lot of muscle, just eat. Eat big to get big. If you eat big to get big, you're going to get big and fat. You're not going to look like this guy. If you're 100% natural, even with great genetics, and you train hard, and you go to the gym, and you get to over 300 pounds, you're going to be fat. You're not going to look like this guy. This guy has a ton of muscle. You are going to be fat. And so based on this photo and this photo alone, no way is this guy natural. And are you kidding me? He's got on a tank top. This is more impressive than I was expecting. Every video I've seen of this guy, he's always wearing a t-shirt. He has no energy. Oh, I'm tired. I don't want to do chin-ups, but I'll probably win. He doesn't seem to have a lot of energy. But look at him in the tank top. Are you kidding me? This is not a physique that you get while being natural, especially at 22. If you said that this guy was 32 years old and natural, I'd say you're full of shit and you're an idiot. You're a moron. You don't get a physique like this at any age when you're natural. Not even Mike O'Hearn, Natty, would look like this at 22. And so what do you think the chances are that this guy did it at 22? He's over 300 pounds. Wake the fuck up, as Eddie Boo would have said. This guy is now sponsored by HTLT supplements, and so hopefully he's going to take more Turk Builder than last time. If he's perhaps off cycle right now, I don't know if he cycles on off. I don't know anything about this guy. If he is off cycle, highly encourage this guy should take Turk Builder. Turk Builder is going to help you build more muscle than last time. And obviously with GO2 Max, you can help him to do more cardio. And if he were to take, for example, hardcore pre-workout, give him more energy, getting more cardio, perhaps lose a couple pounds. Imagine if this guy were a svelte 275 pounds, just like Gorilla. Imagine the definition of the conditioning. Perhaps he would have won that chin-up competition. And so Shans.Bruh, get off of weighing over 300 pounds, lean up, get to 270, and do more chin-ups than last time. And get my freaking cookbook. A new era in the fitness industry is upon us. Connor at 6'2", we've got Gorilla who's taller than Connor, perhaps he's 6'3", and we've got Gorilla at perhaps 6'5". Look at the size of these guys. Just for a frame of reference, Connor is not Natty. Connor is perhaps 220 pounds. He's a very large man. And look at the size difference with these other guys. And so if you're thinking, no, they just eat more food, they just bulked up, he's on the Sam Sulek diet. And so clearly, if you bulk up, you have good genetics, you can look like this. No, you can't. It's ridiculous. The majority of people, even with steroids, they're not going to be as big as Connor. Connor is a very large man. I've met him in person. He has a lot of muscle. Don't think that just because you're on steroids, you're going to look like any of these guys. If you're on Turk Builder, of course it's going to help you to build more muscle than last time. Way better than you think. Trust me, Turk Builder is no joke. Teenagers, you can't get it. Well, you can, but you shouldn't. Wait until you're older. Wait until you hit a plateau. Turk Builder helped me put on so much muscle that I don't even want to give you the number because you're going to call me a liar. Code Greg, 15% off. Click the link in the description and you're lucky it won't be sold out right now because trust me, this stuff is hard to get. Now, no, you can't just get Turk Builder from any other company. You could try, but it's not going to have testosterone. I've tested many of the other companies' products. They never had testosterone, and are you surprised? We got our Turk Builder from Uzbekistan. It took me a month to pronounce that name properly. And so we got it. Other companies getting it from China, used to get it from China, no more. We did our due diligence. It took 2 years to get this stuff. We've had it third-party tested, and we have a money-back guarantee. We're putting our money where our mouth is, and so what do you have to lose? If you don't want to take steroids, you don't want to take SARMs, you don't want to take bad performance-enhancing drugs, you can take Turk Builder. Get over to my website, code Greg, 15% off. Look at this guy. Are you kidding me? Gold Physique Jack Daniels. I don't know if that means he wants to have the color of Jack Daniels. Perhaps he wants that brownish orange hue. Perhaps if he takes enough performance-enhancing drugs, the skin color will get discolored. He'll look like that. Perhaps with increased hemoglobin levels, he'll have that reddish hue, but perhaps he'll abuse too many steroids, end up looking like the guy with the bluish skin. Don't want that either. And so please don't abuse steroids. Stay more natty than last time. The guy has a ton of muscle. You see the arms, the chest, the traps, the thickness. This is incredible. Now, personally, I would love to see him get leaner. Obviously, I want this guy to live longer than last time, and so using steroids, it's not a good idea. And so, Shans.Bruh, let's live longer than last time. Use testosterone and GO2 Max. And you were thinking, oh, it's all muscle from the front. Look at Shane from the rear. Look at the back muscles. The detail does not appear to have a lot of body fat. And the triceps are hanging off of this guy. Look at the conditioning. You don't have triceps that look like this when you have a lot of body fat. And I don't know what's going on with the blood going off of his face. I don't know what's going on here. And so the caption says dub. I don't know what that means. Dub? What is dub? Should it not say, hey, here's a photo dump. The third photo is blood from a toothache. I had a tooth come out. I was slam dunking the ball. I hit my tooth on the rim. Could there not be an explanation of what's going on right now? I just landed in London. Can you give me some dur? I thought he was going to say, can you give me the D? But some dur. I don't know what a dur is. Now remember, he's 22 years of age. I'm older than his father most likely, and so I don't understand the lingo. I'm trying to learn, I'm trying to adapt, and that is no cap. And so going back a year ago, have you got any medical conditions? The 12 gauge won't stop whispering to me. And then you see the size of the back, the small waist with the massive lats and the wide shoulders. Now listen, a 12 gauge is a shotgun, but is he in fact referring to steroids? A 12 gauge needle, no one would be using that, so I don't know if I know the reference. Regardless of this, look at the guy's back. And so is he talking about a 12 gauge to do this or a 12 gauge to do that? I don't know, but no one that I'm aware of is using a 12 gauge to do any test or any of that stuff. And so who knows what this means? Perhaps the lingo of these days is when you're young, you say everything that makes no sense, and that is what makes you cool. I'm literally Spider-Man 2099. And I'm telling you, in that photo, I was thinking maybe he is in fact natural. He seems to have a bit of a belly. He does have a lot of muscle, but he doesn't look all that jacked. And then following that, look at the size of this guy, the berserk shirt looking crazy, the muscle on this guy. And so there's no way I believe this guy's natural. I don't know if that's a before and after transformation or he's just kind of looking sluggish and then all of a sudden he jacks himself up. But when I see him in the after photo, that is truly remarkable. There's no way this guy is natural. Look at this photo. We have a man on the right in the blue tank top. He looks incredible. Look at the size of this guy, the detail. But then you have Shans.Bruh on the left. Do you really think this is natural? All you need to do is see him next to a normal guy who has a lot of muscle, who probably also isn't natural, and see the comparison. Think of it. Look at the size of him and you think this guy's natty? And so going back to 2018, that was 6 years ago. 6 years ago, he's 22 now. That makes him 16. There's 3 plates on each side of the bench press. Was he in fact natural at 16, repping out 3 plates? And he's speeding up as the reps go by. Gets a set of 6 reps with 315 pounds at 16. And so was he in fact natural at 16? I don't know. And so is it in fact possible that he was 16 years old repping out 315 pounds for 6 reps? That he just simply continued to grow while staying 100% natural? Well, I'm here to say I don't think so. Is he in fact natty? Is he not natty? Only Shans.Bruh himself truly knows this answer. And so some of his best lifts in the bench 6 years ago at 16, 330 pounds for a double, 350 pounds for a single, and narrowly misses out at 374 pounds. And so you can see the size of this guy at only 16 years of age. He clearly had a lot of muscle. And so you're thinking, well, why would a guy with so much muscle even bother to take steroids? If he had this much muscle and it was this strong at such a young age, why would he bother? And I'm here to tell you this. The stronger you are and the more impressive physique you have when you're natural, the more likely you are to take something. You're thinking it's the opposite. Why would you bother taking something? You're so impressive, natty, why would you bother? Well, I can use myself as an example. I looked amazing natural, was world natural bodybuilding champion, won the nationals, won everything. I still use steroids, and why? Because when you're extremely good at something, you want to see how far you can take your body. You want to push yourself to the limits. You want to go for that IBB Pro card. You want to be the world record holder. And so if you're really good at something and you know that there's something you can take that's going to make you better, you're that much more tempted to do so. And so you might be thinking, well, only guys that have below average physiques that want to look amazing, those are the guys that are doing it. It's not. It's everybody. The pressure is there for anyone to use steroids. And so you can see even 7 years ago at 15 years of age, this guy had a ton of muscle. Does that look like a 15 or 16-year-old to you? He looks in his 20s. He's huge. Dating back to 2021, you can see all the various poses from the back to the side to the front. Ton of muscle. And he did appear to be very lean. He has detail in the back, and I do believe that even in those early ages, that the guy wasn't 100% natural. Now remember, I have no proof. I don't know this for sure. I'm just telling you what I think. I don't believe that a man at 19 years of age is going to have this kind of development, even with amazing genetics, as clearly evident when he was 16, bench pressing 315 pounds for 6 reps. I don't think that he's even natural at this point.
Well, today I'm with my friend Shan, a 6'4", 315-pound bodybuilder from New Zealand. We're going through his full day of eating. Yes, his absolutely insane diet.
And so is it possible he just eats a lot of food? The 12,000 calorie diet, is he just force feeding his way into muscle growth? I don't think so.
Usually I start off my day with some fucking eggs.
How many eggs are we talking? 6, 7?
I usually start my day off at like 17 eggs.
And so is this guy a relative to the Trend twins? Why is it fuck this and that. Everything is Turk. I usually start my day with some fucking eggs and some Turk and cook, man. Turk. Listen, guys. Listen, kids. You need to have a healthy diet. You can't just eat all this shit. You can't follow the Sam Sulek diet, just eating chocolate milk and cereals and just whole eggs and so on and think that you're going to be healthy. You can't just have fast food every day and never eat a vegetable. You need to have all the food groups, fruits, vegetables, everything. It's not just about the macros, it's also about the micronutrients. In conclusion, I don't believe this is natural. Do you agree with me? After all, you did see his amazing genetics. He looked like a freak at only 16 years of age. And so is it not possible that he was so good at such an early age that he has just the world's best genetics and that he's the world's largest bodybuilder because he has the world's best genetics? Let me know in the comments section. Do you agree, or do you think he's blasting hella more gear than last time? Interested in Turk Builder GO2 Max or Cookbook 3.1, as well as the Circle Diet Book, the Harder Than Last Time clothing line? We got hoodies, jogging pants, t-shirts, and so on. Get to the Y website, code Greg, 15% off. Do I sound like Wadu Wabbit? Get to my website. More Wadu Wabbit than last time. Subscribe, click the bell button, comment to boost the algorithm. Don't forget as well, coaching plans by me and my team. And until next time, I am out.